Hello and welcome. In this video series, we've been looking at $2 million homes from around the country, and we are down to our last state. New York presents an interesting problem because you have New York City and kind of the rest of New York. It's a very different place. To give you an example, Manhattan it's just its own separate entity. Because here we go, we're looking for $1.5 million homes and up. And you look at Manhattan and it has plenty of options, but that's only if you make it the max anything. If you make the maximum $2 million homes in Manhattan, that's what you have for 1.5 to 2 million. Nothing. Now there's different categories, and the rest of the states really we've been pretty much sticking to standalone homes. So if you add apartments, you get a few more, which that seems kind of low, but I think they kind of also call things differently, because if you add condos, then there is a whole slew of them, and there's just too many to go through. I mean, it's just a massive amount, and so the deal with, to be in New York, you almost have to have a purpose. You have to be close to where you work, or your family, or your church, or your synagogue, or a point of interest, or something, or close to a subway line. But there's just so many houses just in this or condos in this price range, and there's no way I could accurately judge it, because your criteria, like I said, all depends on your personal needs, and they're kind of crazy, because if I just randomly pick one, you can get a look if you can have a lovely view of another building, and that's it. Your 1,500 square feet, 2 bedroom, 1 bath is $2 million. So to me, that's just not my cup of tea. I know it's on Fifth Avenue. Changed my mind. But and I think some of these have and a $2,800 monthly homeowner's fee. So in addition to paying $2 million, you got to also pay $2,800 a month. Some I've seen up to $6,000 a month. That's we're not going to try and tackle that. That's a whole different video series. But what we are going to do is look at a few homes that you could commute into from. So we're going to start outward. So this one is in Scarsdale, which is north of the city, and it's actually near White Plains. And this one specifically was kind of chosen because it's a half-mile walk to the train station, and I'm not quite sure, I think it's about an hour into the city from there, and for some people that's not a bad commute time. So there's other houses around, but you'd have to like drive to the train station. I found these because you could all walk to the train station, and but you don't have a lot. You have some stuff, but to me, if you're living in the city, you want stuff nearby you. So here we go. But I did really like this house. I like the rocks on the outside, the shape of it, the little turret going on. It was, I think, from 1937. So it just had a lot of character. Obviously, if it's been around this long, it's well put together. At least you'd hope so. I like the floors. The kitchen's a little galley, and that's the only downside about this layout, which I'll show you later. It's very segmented, so it has lots of space, but it's very segmented. Because if we go down to but it's got a nice little backyard. I think that's cool. I think it's got a third an acre, so you can have some peace and some relaxation time. You're not just staring at your neighbors, and they're not all just staring at your business. So I think that was really cool. The downside about this is like here, you got your kitchen and your formal dining room, but this is opposite of open concept. So I don't even know what you could do to open that up. You'd have to like move the kitchen out here or something. I don't know. So it's the opposite of your open concept, but it's on the line. It's commutable. This one's in the Bronx. And so it is located over here, kind of near the zoo. And it is, if we zoom in, it's also close to a hospital. So that's kind of a good thing that I was looking for. Is not only is it there's your subway, so that's a bit of a walk, but not bad. New Yorkers, it's what they say: 2 long city blocks and 4 short, so that's not bad at all. To get on the subway from there, but there's a few things, but you don't really have the the full city feel. But being close to hospitals is a good thing. But this one was very modern. So it was, I think, in 2012, I believe, and it actually had a 2-car garage too. So that also you got to look at, because you don't understand the Seinfeld parking jokes until you've tried to park in a big city. It's a deal. So this one is just very modern. And they just definitely took some chances and added some things that you'd kind of have to like the style. I do like the kitchen, and they definitely, the basement has your open concepts. You can have your parties and everything there, so all that would be good. It's just I appreciate somebody that has a vision and they go for it. So this is very cool. It's better than just plain white walls. So just kind of it's just a little bit of a sad, backspace, but that it is what it is. There's still room for entertaining back there. That's your yard. That's it. So you can have a little bark dog. So pretty cool house overall. Moving on. This one, they said it was a home, but I think it's attached to other stuff, because I couldn't get a good vibe on it. They kind of go out of the way. They call it a home, but they went out of their way. It's over here in Queens, and it was a good location, a really good location, because you have both access to the train system and the metro, just a little bit further than that. And then also, within walking distance, you have all this stuff. You have hospitals, you have restaurants, you have groceries. I think you can take the metro. There's a Target just off the metro up the line a little bit. So it just had a lot going on in this little area that you could just see. That's the whole group, and I can't believe you buy that whole thing. So that was kind of a downer. But you are so close to so much stuff. I thought it would be very exciting. That everything you need would just be right there. And be really exciting. And you could kind of, I guess if you're super ambitious, you go over to Flushing Meadows area and walk there. But it looked like a bit of a haul. But they kind of obfuscate this a little bit. Like, it looks like it's been updated, but it's more on the apartment condo side of things. So yeah, a little bit more plain. So there. And here is your layout. So yeah, you just get the one section. So anyway, so moving on. This one is in the Bronx, and I liked it because quite a bit, because it didn't have much near it, but it had this big whatever this Van Corleant park or whatever it is. I didn't pronounce it right, but it sounds very fancy. So you have all this green space that you could just walk over to and hang out in. And these times, we know it's good to have an outdoor space just to get out of being cooped up. But right next to it, there's not too much. There's Manhattan College. And here's the subway just over here. So it's not a far walk at all. Just to hop on that, and I believe if I gauge it right, this is the top of where the subway ends. So that was one part of picking this, is that the subway doesn't go any higher, I believe. So just hop on the subway and head on down. And when you're heading home, when the subway stops, you get out. So there you go. But the house itself, it was kind of a plain house, but just very appealing. There could be some stuff done with it. It just this was in the, I think the 20s. I want to say 1920. So that was the style of the time, and they could update the kitchen a little bit. It's not, it's another kind of galley-esque kitchen. Looks like we got some steam heat going, and an old school shower bath combo. Oh, I like the corner sink. But the kind of weird thing is it's got this nice yard, and it just, for where it is to have all these trees, is pretty cool. Now, if you never go outside and you just want to be in the city, this is not your place. But I think it's cool to have the trees and the grass and everything. It's very enjoyable. I'd add some decking and do some outdoor stuff. But it's only got a one-car garage, so it's a little bit of a downer. But there you go. Cute little house. And our kind of winner, which is kind of your rough and tumble kind of winner, is this looks like it was an office that got converted into a house, or it was both, and now they're offering it up for just a house at this point. But it's also located over in Queens and Kew Gardens. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. But I like this one also because it was close to the subway, and then you could get along all the shopping here and get up to what like the other house had. So you're very close to restaurants and hospitals and everything, and grocery stores, and this area was also close to this Forest Park, which I think was another cool looking outdoor area that if you needed to kind of get away, you could do that. So it just had a nice combination, and this was unique in the fact that it had a 2-car garage and it had 2 driveways, so it said you could actually park 7 cars. So this house, again, for as rare as parking is, you could have guests and they could all stay here, park here, and then you could go into the city together and hang out. Now the house itself, it's weird. They don't have it staged at all, and I think kind of hurts it a little bit. And I think it could get some love and some attention and some floors, and I definitely could be done a little bit better. They took a chance on this kitchen remodel. It's not my favorite. It's a little bit too busy. And then the dark cabinets just aren't the style. But, it's got a ton of little rooms. I think they're used as waiting rooms, but you can maybe make them into bedrooms for the office part of it. But it definitely has potential. So, yeah, I think this was once the office part because you have your separate doors coming in. So, there's things you could do. I think it's just interesting because over here it has this whole wing that, probably if you put some effort into it, you could open things up. So, I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting place with potential. And so there we go. Hope you enjoyed it. We're going to have one more where we have homes, kind of a sample of around all New York State. And take care. Have a good day or night.